Vivo's Masterplan, how a new brand took over the smartphone market. Vivo didn't explode in the smartphone market because of luck. They did it with a master plan so sharp that even the biggest brands didn't see it coming. While others were chasing specs, shouting about processors and camera numbers, Vivo quietly focused on something far more powerful: understanding what people actually feel when they hold a phone. They studied small towns, metros, college campuses, every place where real smartphone battles happen. And instead of trying to beat Samsung or Xiaomi at what they were good at, Vivo created their own game. A game built on design, experience, and connecting with users in a way most brands simply ignored. Today, we're diving deep into the strategy that transformed Vivo from just another new brand into a global force. If you think you know Vivo, trust me, you're about to see a side of them you've never seen before. 10. The market nobody expected them to win. When Vivo stepped into the global smartphone scene, it wasn't exactly the easiest moment for a newcomer. Apple and Samsung were ruling the premium segment with iron fists. Xiaomi and Huawei were dominating the affordable innovation space, flooding the market with phones that offered the best specs for the price. And let's be honest, consumers already had more choices than they knew what to do with. So how did Vivo manage to cut through all that noise and make a name for itself? Here's the secret. They didn't try to beat the giants at their own game. They didn't jump straight into the specs war, and they didn't just throw endless discounts at the market. Instead, Vivo zoomed in on something almost no one was paying attention to: user emotion. While most brands were obsessed with numbers, RAM, megapixels, processors, Vivo asked a much deeper question. What do people actually feel when they use their phone? This single shift in perspective changed everything. From bold design choices to user-focused features, Vivo began creating phones that didn't just perform, they connected, delighted, and surprised. And that's how a brand nobody expected to succeed started quietly rewriting the rules of the smartphone game. 9. The camera-first revolution. Before Vivo became a household name, smartphone cameras were improving, but very slowly. Most brands treated cameras as just another feature to tick off the spec sheet. Vivo saw them differently. They saw the camera as the heart of the smartphone experience, the tool that connects users to memories, selfies, and social sharing. But they didn't settle for good enough. Vivo focused on what really mattered: stunning portrait shots, incredible low-light performance, and natural skin tones, things people notice every single day. Then came their boldest move yet, the world's first smartphone with a pop-up selfie camera. This wasn't just a flashy design trick, it solved a real problem: ugly, distracting notches that ruined the immersive display experience. Overnight, it grabbed global attention, signaling something big. Vivo wasn't just another phone brand. They were willing to take risks the giants avoided. That's when the world started to notice. Vivo wasn't here to follow trends. They were here to create them. Every selfie, every feature, every daring design move shouted the same message. Vivo was rewriting the rules of the smartphone game. 8. Extremely precise brand positioning. While most smartphone brands were trying to appeal to everyone, Vivo made a smarter, bolder choice. They focused on a very specific audience: young, modern, socially connected users, the trendsetters who shape culture and influence the market. Every aspect of Vivo's branding reflected this focus. Their phones looked sleek, futuristic, and stylish. Their ads didn't just talk about specs, they told stories about lifestyles, experiences, and aspirations. And their products struck the perfect balance: premium designs at prices that felt reasonable, making cutting-edge technology accessible without feeling out of reach. This wasn't luck, it was psychology. Young users crave clean, eye-catching designs, cameras that make them look their best, phones that just work reliably, brands that feel cool, not corporate. Vivo built exactly that image, turning its phones into more than gadgets. They became status symbols, style statements, and a way to express identity. In many regions, owning a Vivo wasn't just owning a phone. It was a subtle declaration of taste, something competitors spent billions trying, and often failing, to achieve. 7. A retail strategy everyone underestimated. While most smartphone companies were racing to dominate online sales, Vivo made a surprising and bold move. They invested heavily in offline retail. They didn't just list phones on e-commerce sites, they built strong partnerships with local stores, trained salespeople to offer expert guidance, and created eye-catching displays and interactive demo zones that made people want to pick up the phones and explore. Why did this work so well? Because in many parts of the world, consumers still want to touch and feel a device before buying it. While competitors were cutting back on physical presence to save costs, Vivo was quietly owning the offline space, ensuring their phones were visible, accessible, and desirable. But this strategy did more than just boost sales. It built trust. Seeing Vivo phones everywhere, from bustling city stores to neighborhood shops, gave people a sense of reliability and credibility. Vivo wasn't just another online brand. It became a brand people could see, touch, and believe in. And in markets flooded with options, that trust turned into a huge competitive advantage. 6. Innovation that actually matters. Whenever a new brand talks about innovation, most people just roll their eyes. It's easy to throw around fancy features that sound cool but don't actually change anything. Vivo did something very different. They focused on innovations that genuinely improved the user experience. Take their in-display fingerprint scanners. Before most competitors even attempted it, Vivo made unlocking your phone smoother and more intuitive. Or their gimbal-style camera stabilization, which turned shaky mobile videos into cinematic footage. They also delivered ultra-thin designs without compromising performance, proving that style and functionality could coexist. And their collaboration with Zeiss brought professional-grade camera tuning into everyday smartphones. These weren't random experiments or flashy gimmicks. Every move was deliberate, built around one goal: making the phone feel effortless, enjoyable, and modern. And users noticed. Phones felt smarter, cameras sharper, and experiences smoother. Vivo was quietly showing the world that true innovation isn't about hype. It's about creating real, tangible improvements people care about every day. That's how a brand that started as an underdog began setting new standards for the entire smartphone industry. 5. Understanding local cultures. Vivo didn't take the easy route of a one-size-fits-all strategy. They understood that different markets have different priorities, and success comes from truly listening to what users want. Instead of pushing the same phone everywhere, Vivo studied each region in detail and adapted its approach. In some countries, users prioritized long battery life and durability because phones had to survive long commutes or outdoor lifestyles. In others, sleek designs and high-performance cameras were key, appealing to style-conscious and social media-savvy audiences. In yet other markets, features like noise cancellation and premium audio quality made all the difference. Vivo didn't just tailor specs, they crafted experiences that felt personal and local, making each user feel like the phone was made for them. This approach helped the brand connect culturally, even while expanding globally. By respecting local tastes and habits, Vivo built more than products. They built trust, relevance, and loyalty, showing the world that a global brand can still feel at home everywhere it goes. 4. Aggressive but smart marketing. Vivo's marketing wasn't about spending the most money or making the loudest noise. It wasn't about flashy billboards or aggressive hype. Instead, it was calculated, precise, and deeply strategic. They knew exactly where their target audience spent their time and energy: music festivals, major sports tournaments, social media platforms, and lifestyle campaigns. Vivo didn't just advertise phones. They created moments and experiences that connected with people emotionally. Rather than bombarding users with specs and numbers, Vivo showcased what the phone could enable in real life: effortless selfies, stunning videos, smooth multitasking. They didn't just sell devices, they built a culture around their brand, one that celebrated creativity, youthfulness, and being part of a community. And this culture worked. Vivo phones became aspirational, a symbol of style and modernity. Owning one wasn't just about functionality. It was about being part of a movement, a lifestyle, and a story that users wanted to be connected to. This smart, targeted marketing strategy helped Vivo grow quietly but powerfully, leaving competitors struggling to keep up. 3. The mastery of value for money. Here's the secret behind Vivo's rise. They never tried to be the cheapest brand on the market. Instead, they mastered something far more powerful: value for money. Every phone was carefully crafted to strike the perfect balance between performance, sleek design, camera quality, battery life, and reliability. Vivo understood that users don't just want specs. They want a phone that feels complete, that doesn't force compromises. With Vivo, people felt like they were getting premium experiences without paying top-tier prices, and that subtle feeling of satisfaction built trust and emotional connection. This wasn't just a sales strategy, it became a philosophy. Users who experienced that balance became loyal advocates, recommending Vivo to friends and family, often before the brand even became a household name in their region. That loyalty didn't just grow sales, it created unstoppable momentum, helping Vivo quietly dominate markets around the world. In a world full of flashy gimmicks, Vivo showed that smart, user-focused value can be the most powerful weapon of all. 2. A brand built on consistency. Many companies experience rapid growth fueled by hype, only to crash just as fast when expectations aren't met. Vivo avoided that trap entirely. Instead of relying on flashy launches or short-term gimmicks, they focused on delivering consistent quality year after year. Their devices rarely suffered from major issues, and when problems arose, they were solved quickly. Software updates improved steadily, adding features and refining performance. Hardware remained reliable, sturdy, and capable of meeting the demands of everyday users. Every new release reinforced the brand's commitment to quality and dependability. This consistency did something far more valuable than boosting sales in the short term. It built credibility. Credibility turned into a solid reputation, and a strong reputation naturally grew market share. Vivo didn't just make phones, they built trust, and that trust became a cornerstone of their global success. While competitors chased the next trend or gimmick, Vivo quietly solidified its position as a brand people could rely on, year after year, across the world. 1. The secret behind their global success. If we had to sum up Vivo's rise in a single sentence, it would be simple yet powerful. They understood people better than their competitors. While other brands were busy chasing specs, Vivo focused on emotions, how people feel when they hold a phone, take a selfie, or use an app. While others fought for tech dominance and industry awards, Vivo concentrated on user experience, making everyday interactions smoother, more enjoyable, and even fun. Instead of trying to impress reviewers or overwhelm audiences with numbers, Vivo worked quietly to delight real users, anticipating what they wanted before they even knew it themselves. They studied habits, trends, and desires across cultures, tailoring devices, features, and marketing to fit the hearts and lifestyles of people everywhere. That's why a brand nobody expected to succeed didn't just survive, it thrived. Vivo transformed into one of the world's most influential smartphone players, proving that understanding your audience, focusing on experience, and innovating with purpose is far more powerful than chasing flashy specs or hype. And that approach didn't just win markets, it changed the game entirely. Vivo's journey shows how patience and smart planning can build a powerful brand. But this story doesn't end here. On your screen right now, you can continue with LG's incredible rise, a company that quietly built a billion-dollar electronics empire over decades. Or, if you prefer speed and bold moves, watch how Realme entered the market and grew faster than anyone imagined. Choose your next story and keep watching.